lucky or blessed that you made it out of there?
Absolutely, absolutely. We saw dead Marines, we saw dead Japanese, and they don't look very good after they've laid in the sun or in the weather for about 3, 4, 5 days. The Japanese didn't pick up their casualties, they just laid there, and our men were evacuated from the beach out to hospital ships. The corpsmen would take care of them first and do the initial treating of them. And then they would, if they needed to be, which in most cases it was the case, they would be evacuated by landing craft. In the first 5 days, though, the Japanese shelled the beaches from the north, from their positions in the north, and some of our men lying on cots or the little canvas things that they carry the men on. They'd be down at the beach waiting for evacuation, and shells would come and hit the beach, and they would be killed just for being on the beach waiting for evacuation.
One of the most iconic images was that flag that you were talking about.
Yes.
When you first saw that, what kind of went through your head?
We knew that the Japanese on Suribachi were looking down on us and calling coordinates to the artillery and Japanese artillery and even rocket positions they had up at the north. So when that flag went up, we knew that our men had taken Suribachi, killed or wounded the enemy, and that it was likely that it was going to be a short operation. And it didn't turn out that way. But we were in a hole with our radio, in a shell hole or something with our radio. We have a 3-man radio, and there was a wire sergeant standing up on the top of our shell hole, and we were busy. And he said, "Oh my God, look at that." And we looked up to see what he was pointing at, and he was pointing at that flag, that first flag that had been raised, that was waving in the breeze. And I still get just shivers thinking about it. And that was, 65 years or so ago. The feeling that we had that it's over, we're going to go home. And it didn't turn out that way. We lost several thousand more men killed and wounded before we got off the island.
When you see like the old film reels and the video of that flag being raised and stuff, does it kind of bring back the old memories and stuff?
Well, not too much. I mean, as I say, 65 years later, I've lived a full life. I'll be 85 in December. So you have time, your mind has time to adapt. And I don't think of myself when I see newsreels of men landing on beaches and things like that. I don't get a gut feeling, I may have within the first year or so after the war was over and I was out of the Marine Corps, but it's something that, and since I wasn't even wounded, I think there's an easier situation for you anyway. The fellows that were badly wounded during shell fire and wondering if they were going to die, and that had to be on their minds, a lot of them, they'd look down and see their intestines, for example, and hold on to their intestines. And many of those, of course, did die because of infections, things like that. So I can't speak for them, and we've never discussed it. Men that have been in those serious situations.
Now that time has passed, and they say time kind of writes history,
Mm-hmm.
what does it mean to you that kind of you were a part of one of the most iconic war fronts in history?
Well, early on, we didn't think of Iwo Jima as being iconic or the flag raising, but as time went by, and in Washington, when they made that huge memorial of the flag raising, you get a different feeling. And in that one television program that the Marine veteran had on television, I think he still has it. Can't remember what his name was, because he was in a later war. And at the end of each segment of the program, they have a vision of the flag raising. So it's always, and you're correct, it is an icon. It's iconic of the Pacific War, the whole Pacific War. So it's something we're proud of, that it became that way. And we're proud to be, Marines are always proud to be Marines. Like they say, once a Marine, always a Marine. And that's true. The ring I wear has the eagle globe and anchor on it. And I wear it proudly. And it's just a kind of a Marine thing, if I can use that term.
Yeah.
I think some of the other services say, well, yeah, that's a Marine thing,
Yeah.